Welcome, welcome to the Wednesday Night Live. Yours truly, Tanya Tomasevich, in the Facebook group Intuitive Minds Already Know. How's everybody doing tonight? I am tired and I'm cold. I hope to keep this maybe under an hour tonight. Hello, Grace. Tonight's topic is we are doing the second chakra, and that's the sacral. Hello, Carla. Thanks for watching. Just a couple updates. Reason I'm tired is I have not been sleeping the best. I'm thinking a lot about Jack when I go to bed at night. And for those of you who are friends and family members of mine, Jack is in his first week of boot camp in the Marines. So he is in San Diego. We have not received our first letter yet. We did send our first letter. We have not received our first letter yet, but we do know he's there. So yes, so tonight is the second part of the 7-part chakra series, is the sacral. So while we're waiting for a couple more people to pop on here, I pulled a card from my Chakra Insight Oracle card deck. And it's a little long, so that's why I'm going to read it first to allow others to join on. So the card I pulled is this purple one, and it's Inspiration. Ideas spark and conception and impulse. If that resonates with anybody. So I'm just going to read out of the book for until a couple people pop on here. So the card message. This card is about energy, the conception of an idea, the spark of divine consciousness. Inspiration is the fundamental creative energy of the universe. It is the seed of new growth and the ray of light in the dawn of a new day. Within our inspiration, we find the power to heal wounds and begin anew, to build bridges of connection and light the way to true fulfillment in life. There is limitless potential available to each of us right now. The universe holds this expanse of infinite potential, just waiting to be ignited. It is time to be still enough to grasp this and to allow it into your being. Absolutely anything that can be conceived can also then be achieved. It is just a matter of taking that spark of inspiration and working out how you will go about manifesting it into reality. There are truly no limits to what you can create and experience in this world. What inspires you the most? Is it time to push beyond previously held ideas of the possible? To believe in that spark of inspiration and to allow it to propel you into inspired action. This card also encourages balance. When we allow inspiration into our minds, it can only be manifested to its best potential if we are living a physical existence, connected to our earthly seeds. When we are inspired, we illuminate even the most mundane activities. Our actions come from a higher place, leading us to the realization of our highest visions. If you are feeling uninspired, you may need to step away from your current focus and allow the breath of life to move through you in new ways. Walk in nature, move your body, play music, write in your journal. These are all pathways for the divine to find you, to reignite the light of inspiration within you. Soon you will feel reinvigorated with a new sense of energy that can be channeled creatively into the world however you choose. Inspiration is waiting for an outlet now. I like that. Also, the update is we have 295 members on here, folks. The 300th member will get a free Oracle card reading from me. The event that's coming up is in April. It is called the Journaling Journey. We're going to discuss how journaling in your life benefits you. It's at my house. It's April 16th at 11 a.m. Space is limited because I have a small living room, and we're going to do introduction to journaling. We're going to journal, we're going to meditate, and then we're going to journal a little more, and then I will give a 1 to 2 oracle card reading for whoever shows up. And you will get a journal that I'm going to make. All right? So, all right, are you guys ready to talk about the sacral chakra? All right. It is the second chakra. We start from the root. Last week we talked about the root. That's a masculine chakra. Tonight we're going to talk about the sacral chakra, and that's feminine. So we have 7 of them that start from the root. So, and they go masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, and feminine all the way up. If you have not watched the first one or the introduction, they are posted on this, so you can always go back and watch it. And please ask questions to the post, even though it is after the fact, because I do get the notifications and I can answer all those questions for you. And feel free to ask any questions tonight going into this. I'm using the book. The content that I will be using is The Key to the Chakras. It's a very, very, very detailed book. I'm not even done reading it yet. I'm just kind of going along as you are. So it is the sacral chakra is the second chakra. It is in the center of the pelvis, associated with the element of water and the sense of taste. Its color is orange. It governs and affects the physical body parts from the pelvic to your belly button and the reproductive organs. The sacral chakra develops between the ages of 8 and 14. This is a crucial time of changes in the hormones and sexual awakening. The sacral is about intimacy, sexuality, creativity, emotions, curiosity, and desire to deeply bond with another. That's where our relationship foundations are basically kind of started, is in the sacral chakra. The stones associated with this are coral, and I have a cool coral one. Side note, look at it. Kind of looks like a pretzel. I found this in Tulum with my bestie, Angela, when we were in Tulum in November. And I think it looks like the kind of the yoga sign that you see quite a bit, like the lotus almost. I like that one. Moonstone. This is my moonstone. Can you see it? It's got all kinds of different colors in it. Tiger's eye is one of them, even though it's not orange. It is associated. And then we have a green one, adventurine. But the color is orange. The sacral is feminine energy. The masculine and feminine energies continually pulsate back and forth between the two. So the energies are in constant yin and yang balance. We talked a lot about that in the introduction and the root. So if you think about like the kind of the DNA system, because there's masculine and feminine energies in your chakra system, and it resides in down the center of your body. And they're always spinning. Now it's weird because the masculine energy goes, I believe it's clockwise, and the feminine energy goes counterclockwise, and your energy goes like left and right out this way. It also goes from the front and the back and up and down. So that's where the spiral is coming from, if you think about it and if you read more. This book is very detailed. These energies are housed inside a physical body. So being aware and paying attention to how your body responds or is performing is a great place to pinpoint any imbalance in each chakra. For instance, all right, well, so we'll talk the feminine part of the sacral chakra. A lot of premenstrual and menstrual imbalances will be correlating with your sacral because that's where it's at. The root and the sacral are opposites. So the root relates to being secure, committed. You're a planner, you're organized, you're stationary. Where the sacral chakra is flexible, non-committed, spontaneous, chaotic, and non-stationary. So as you can see, it's no wonder why men and women are so different and often feel distant or not. We don't understand each other because we are opposites by default. And in a relationship, these chakras test can be very, there's a chakra test that you can take, and they can be very helpful to bring more clarity to each person's dominant chakra and learn ways together to balance each other out in relationships. Read page 44. Feel free to ask any questions because there's a lot of information I need to talk about, a lot of stuff. So with the feminine and masculine energy, this resonated with me, so I'm going to read it right out of the book. So the masculine and feminine balancing we've been discussing so far actually exist on these 3 different directional planes. That's what I talked about, the up, down, the left, right, and the front, back. When we assess our chakras, we will look at whether we are honoring the energy of our front and back, our left and right, and especially our essential liberating and manifesting currents. We will also look at how Western culture strongly favors masculine energy and how that bias affects our energy field. Very interesting. All right. The aura color associated with the sacral is orange, and it's about 2 to 3 inches off the body. So let's talk about auras for a little bit. I cannot see them. Right now when I meditate, with my eyes closed, I can see whites, a lot of bright whites and purples, and sometimes blues and greens. Not sure what all that means, but I cannot see auras. I wish I could. I wish I really could, because then this whole, like, you could see different people's auras. Now, the lower chakras, so the root, the sacral, and the solar plex. The solar plex is next week. That's where your self-confidence is arbored. So those 3 vibrate lower. The other 3 vibrate faster, which is why if you can see chakras, or if you had your chakras read, those might be more evident. The purples, the whites, and the blues and the greens, because those vibrate faster. So the aura color of the sacral is about 2 to 3 inches off the body, and it relates to all your emotions, including unprocessed feelings from the past, which makes sense because if you are harboring some past life regression, that's where emotions are going to, that's where they're located in your chakra. Which makes total sense when a woman is experiencing hormonal fluctuations, that her mood and emotions can also fluctuate. This also makes sense to the saying, you cannot love someone else until you love yourself first. So because the sacral chakra is all about finding that divine relationship with someone else, friends, or that significant other. So if we don't have a good foundation of love, self-love in our sacral, we will have a hard time finding love in others. So you hear about it a lot. You have to love yourself. Well, that makes total sense, because if you don't have that balanced chakra to love yourself, you are never going to have that love for someone else. It's going to be difficult. You're going to run into struggles. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done when you deal with self-love. I can testify that. I also want to talk about so I said before that the sacral chakra develops between ages of 14. So let's think about ourselves when in the ages of 8 to 14. Usually young girls start puberty. So let's say something traumatic. Hello, Angela. Please comment if you have any questions. I know you're really curious about learning more about the chakras. And this is important that you tapped on right at a good moment, because we're talking about from the age of 8 to 14 when the sacral chakra develops. So think about your age. When from age to 14 you were in puberty, and maybe you got your period then for us women folk out there. So let's say something traumatic happens in your life from age 8 to 14. Of course, this past trauma is not dealt with at that time. Could very well have a reactive effect on your sexuality and your relationships in your adult life. Does any of that make sense? Let's go really dark and say you were molested, or sexually molested or raped between the ages of 8 to 14, of course you are going to struggle. If you do struggle, it makes total sense. If you are struggling in your adult life with, hello, Amanda. Of course, that makes total sense if you are struggling with the relationships of someone else, trying to find that deep connection with someone, because that it's like it's like you missed out on that healthy development of your sex chakra. Does that make sense? Now, and there's ways to heal that. So keep in mind that just because a traumatic experience happened in the essence of that age bracket of developing a healthy sacra, sex chakra, there are ways to deal with it. You don't feel like you're permanent. You're permanently, wounded. There's ways, as long as you're self-aware, and as long as you are doing this intentionally and knowing that there's work to be done, you can heal yourself from the inside out. Let's talk more about the differences in men and female chakras, because that's what this is all about. We're trying to manifest healthy relationships with this chakra. The chakras are energetic, but create very real physical changes in our physical body. Each of the 7 chakras stimulates at least one of the glands in our endocrine system. That system produces hormones. These hormones send out messages to run our body optimally. So if any one of these glands is creating physical imbalances in your health, we can evaluate that chakra and determine the proper balancing and healing techniques to regain that optimal balance. And that's what I just got done talking about. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Nobody? So having that said, this is interesting. So the male sexual hormone is located in his testes, but the testes are located in his root, and the root is masculine. So if you think about men's sexuality, what does that mean? So you picture a man, and think about his sexuality, especially in animals too. They're always the more colorful one. They're going to be, when they're trying to mate, or trying to impress a female, they kind of puff out their chest, they suck in their gut, they show their, their muscles, they stand up straight. They act very strong, they act very dominant. And this is all part of the masculine energy of the root. Now, the female sexual hormone is located in her ovaries. The ovaries are located in the sacral, which is the second one. The sacral is a feminine energy. So if you look at the different energies, characteristics in each of those chakras, it's very obvious why men and women express sexuality and the properties that go with it very, very differently. When that's why men are like, they're such tools, and they don't think sexuality of sensitive. Where women, we are on the feminine end because that's where our feminine is generated, in our feminine sacral chakra. And we want sensitive, we want we want the calmer things. We want more foreplay. We want everything associated with that chakra, which it makes total sense. Did I read on what? Yes. So intimacy, sexuality, creativity, emotions, curiosity, and desire to deeply bond with another. So you can imagine why, that there's a book, what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, that we're on like polar ends of the spectrum. It makes total sense. Ask questions, people. This is a Q&A. This is a class. All right. So I'm told to read this. I wrote it down. So in an ideal scenario, each gender can experience and enjoy both types of sex. Still, most men biologically carry more of the masculine energy, and most women more of the feminine, by default, the way we're born. Due to the fact that the testes are stimulated by root chakra energy, and the ovaries are influenced by the sacral chakra energy, which is just what I got done talking about. So the sacral chakra is about sexuality, sensual fertility, intimacy, pleasure, and emotions. The ovaries release the hormones that cause menstruation and allow a woman to become pregnant. These hormones also create the 28-day feminine moon cycle. Isn't that amazing? So women, your periods are basically kind of governed, commanded by the cycle of the moon. So if you follow the moon's phases, pay attention to what the phase of the moon is in and what the phase of your menstrual cycle is in. I bet you'll find some similarities. So we talked a lot about personalities last time with the sacral. I can't even say it. Sacral and chakra in the same sentence. So there are different personalities, and there's under and overactive. So I can't, this one stay down. I'm hot, folks. So ideally, we don't want an underactive chakra and we don't want an overactive. So we want an ideal. So when I read some of the underactive, I follow the moon phase. It's always spot on. Ooh, good, good, good. Because I don't have a period anymore. I'm in menopause, so I follow the moon. I can't follow my system. So when I read the inadequate or the underactive and I read the overactive, ideally we want to meet in the middle, somewhere between the two. So underactive is your over rational, and overactive is your irrational. Underactive is your unresponsive. Overactive is your kind of crazy, kind of cray-cray. Underactive, no emotions or emotionless, or kind of this like numb. Overactive is unstable, so kind of all over the place. Maybe there's a little, I wouldn't say, maybe bipolar. I'm getting the word bipolar. Underactive, not creative, and overactive is overly emotional. Underactive avoids intimacy. And okay, so the overactive was overly emotional. Underactive, rigid, and overactive, promiscuous. Underactive moves stiffly, and overactive, flexible. So somewhere in the middle is kind of ideal for yourself. Now, I talked a lot about about balancing of the chakras. So everybody's body is different. So your chakras not necessarily need to line up in a straight line. That's where they're located. That's where we would like to be. But your chakras can be a little off to the center, but still be balanced for you. They have to be for you. There's a good test to take, and it to see how your chakras are, if they're balanced, and if they're underactive or overactive. I think I might be more overactive. Oh, well, there's a test you can take for that, Miss Amanda. So it's www.eclecticenergies.com. And my soon-to-be daughter-in-law took one. I think she went actually to that website, and it was really interesting. And I know her very well, and so a lot of her chakras were not balanced. And so in the areas that I had figured. So she took the test. There's also a test from 87, page 87 in the book. And it has, I believe, 12 questions for each chakra. And then it has like what am I trying to say? It has like a guide of test results to see if they're opened or not. We talked before that a chakra is not either closed or open. It's either open, very open, or somewhat open. The sacral personality reads 79. What am I supposed to read here? Oh, okay. So I did that. Any questions so far? We're going to talk next about the illnesses. Will you post that link on here? Yes, I will. I'm going to make a note. Post the link. I will do it when I actually post it after I'm done with the live. So some of the illnesses associated with this, with the sacral chakra: female reproductive, hormone problems, menstrual irregularities, PMS, urinary chakra, UTIs, bladder problems, or even, this was interesting. This was really interesting. This surprised me. So even dehydration, which makes total sense because the sacra is related to the earth element of water. So if you're dehydrated or experiencing dehydration, regardless of the water that you're drinking, it might be your sacral chakra needs to be balanced. Also STDs and scoliosis. And I'm going to read from the book. So the sacral chakra governs the pelvic bowl and lower back area. Here are some of the illnesses. Issues involving the ovaries, like female reproductive or hormone, PMS, other forms of chronic emotional swings, urinary or bladder problems, dehydration, STDs, scoliosis. Because when, this is interesting too, scoliosis, because when there is a weak root chakra combined with too much second chakra energy, which is the sacral, our bones literally curve. So do you know anybody that has scoliosis? Think about their lives, their you know, when they were younger, and then their adult lives, and think about all the illnesses that kind of, see if that is making a connection with anybody. There is a full list on page 108. So bladder, we talked about that. Dehydration, endometriosis. I think that's the lining of your uterus, right? Correct me. Herpes, hip problems, infertility, menstrual problems, PMS, scoliosis, sexual frigidity. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to research that. And I actually should have before this live. But I will let you guys know what sexual frigidity, frigidity. I can't say it. So Angela, have you come across that word before in your practices? Sexual frigidity. Does that mean you don't want to have sex? Is that what that means? STDs and urinary infections, UTIs. So that is the full list according to this book. Any questions? Any questions? I think it's someone who is frigid with sex. Well, yeah, but let's peel apart that onion. What does frigid? Like, what does frigid mean? I mean, I think I know what frigid means. Like not very sexual. Shy. Oh, shy, not interested. Yeah, so don't want to have sex. Weird. If you don't want to have sex, you better have your sacra balanced. Oh boy. All right, we're going to talk about the essential oils that are associated with this, because a lot of us are using essential oils in our day-to-day practices. So ylang, and I said that right, jasmine, rose, and orange blossoms. Teas with these herbs are also a great during ladies' time of the month. Sage and fennel you can actually cook with. I have it in my failure of a female to respond to sexual stimulus. Failure of a female. Like, does that mean you're not able to get physically stimulated, or you're not like aroused, like you don't feel it before you're physically stimulated? We need to peel back that onion. That's serious. I have someone in mind that I'm thinking of right now with that sexual frigidity. Frigidity. I'm not even going to try to say it anymore. Failure of a female to respond to sexual stimulus. Ooh. I think there's therapy for that, though. That's like you go and you see like a doctor and yeah. Ugh. I feel sorry for those. That would be difficult. That would be a struggle, especially if you like in a relationship and you're like in a marriage, you know, where your husband is on the opposite end and he's not experiencing that. Frigidity. Inability of a woman to have an orgasm during sexual stimulus. Whoa. Oh, yeah. I bet you that's from trauma. I'm going to say that goes back with that. If you're like molested or sexually assaulted from the ages of 8 to 14, not that your sacral can be compromised before that age or after that age, but that is a pivotal time from the age of 8 to 14 where that sacral chakra is developed. We were talking about essential oils. Okay, so we have ylang ylang. Oh, so fennel. You can actually cook with fennel. I actually kind of put it in when I'm doing chili or my meat or spaghetti. And it has great digestive benefits as well to kind of keep like flax. For me anyways, fennel works like flax. It kind of gets things moving along. Jasmine, rose, and orange blossom. It says these are all aphrodisiacs. Ylang ylang has a densely sweet aroma and is said to reduce any anxiety related to sexual performance. Oh, so maybe we should be putting ylang ylang in our diffusers before we, you know, get down and dirty. Sage activates the feminine hormone, estrogen, while fennel boosts female libido and reduces the negative side effects of menstruation. Oh, I did not know that. And rose is a great tonic for the uterus that can even delay the onset of menopause. I don't know why you would want to delay the onset of menopause, because you just get it over with. I do not want to pause my menopause. I want to fast forward my menopause. Oh, so we're in the healing. We're talking about healing right now, folks. And I'm going to show you these poses. And I've done yoga. I've done lots of yoga. And it's just reading this book has opened my mind, my eyes up, because now I'm looking at all the poses in this book and I'm looking at, okay, I have done these poses. And now these poses are broken down into each chakra that they benefit. And so the sacral chakra poses, I mean, I've done the cat, the cow. This one I do a lot just in my workout stretching. And then this one is a good one. This frog one. That really helps the hips. Angela Rose, are you still on here? I want to ask you, why are women's, because you're a you are a massage therapist. What is the connection between women's hips and what they're dealing with in life? I know there's a connection, and I know we've talked about it before. So if you are listening still, would you please comment on the connection between maybe emotions, or that would make sense, and hips? The hips. You say yes. Okay, did you hear my question? I want you to comment on here the correlation or the connection between women's relationships. That has to do with relationships. Well, I tend to think I have really good relationships, and my hips, well, I was born with hip dysplasia, so does that count? Am I an exception? Is my hip pains? Hips are connected to personal relationships. Am I an exception to the rule because I was born with hip dysplasia? Because I have hip problems. So try those yoga poses out, folks. Oh, let's talk about the stones. I want to talk about the stones, and then we'll talk about the food, and then we'll talk about some questions if anybody has any questions. Thank you, Angela, for piping in. I love you. So, intimate relationships. Oh, yes. Okay, so the moonstone assists looking inward. It calms, stabilizes emotions, helps PMS, fertility, childbirth, and breastfeeding. Oh, Angela, look what I have. I have the coral from Tulum. Coral enhances feminine fertility and passion, balances emotions, helps alleviate bladder issues. I love this. I found this in Tulum. I love it. Just reminds me of our trip. And then I don't have the other two. But fire opal is one that assesses the subconscious, fires up kundalini, and cures dehydration and water retention. So that's fire opal. The orange calcite, memories. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Orange calcite lifts energy and spirit, clears emotional and reproductive issues, balances sexual energies. And the amber promotes emotional ease, protects from energetic invasion. Energetic invasion. What is that? Is that like when you absorb other people's energies? Nurtures creativity, reduces stress, and heals wounds. Okay, so we talked about the yoga poses. We talked about the oils. We talked about the crystals. I want to talk about some of the foods for healing your sacral chakra. That's that one. Okay, so liquids, because it's associated with the earth element water, of course, why would it not be liquids? The orange sacral chakra is associated with liquids and fluid foods, especially sensual ones. Fruit juices like mango, orange, and carrot really boost it. And foods with aphrodisiac qualities are good for it too, especially if they're a fluid or come from the sea like oysters. Ugh. I've never had an oyster. Has anybody ever had an oyster on here? I don't know if I want to eat an oyster. I mean, I'll try it, but dark chocolate is another great aphrodisiac that boosts all of the feminine chakras because it releases the love hormone oxytocin for the heart and also boosts the brain. Did you guys know that? Which was related to the third eye. Interesting. We'll keep eating that dark chocolate, folks. All right, some more foods. So orange juice, carrot juice, mangoes, passion fruit. Oh, of course. Is passion fruit an aphrodisiac? Sweet potatoes or pumpkin in soup. Oh, imagine that. Has anybody ever made pumpkin soup? Has anybody? I think I made it once. Salmon, oysters, and dark chocolate. Oh, that's on the bottom of the list. How unfair. Dark chocolate should be on the top. Huh. So, I'm getting a little side note from my past. My husband loves them, not me. He loves them on the half shell. Ugh. Okay. Well, if I'm ever around where I can afford oysters, I will definitely try them. If you all promise to try them, I will try them if you guys try them. So years back, I was on this nutritional program, aka diet, called The Plan. And what that was based around is regulating your hormones to lose weight, to lose fat. And so one of the recipes that they had was a lot of soups. And it was trying to get your hormones balanced and regulated. And so like soups, I guess, soups of all the recipes of this nature, it was like carrot soups, kind of bland ones, honestly, but she used a lot of ginger in it. So If you like ginger, let me know if you want to, if you're interested in this book, because it's called The Plan. And basically you cut out all foods and follow this plan like for the first, what is it, like the first 3 days. You're just detoxing, and it's supposed to help regulate the hormones and balance them. And then day by day after that, she adds in. So a lot of it was like carrot soup and pumpkin soup. So yeah, I mean, I like soup, but you know, I don't know if I want to eat it every day. I did lose weight on it, just side note. So those are some of the foods related to help with healing of the sacral. I thought this other part was in here. Questions, anybody? Questions? I'm going kind of fast tonight. It's a lot of info. This book is very informative. I haven't even read the whole thing. I'm reading it as each week as I go. Okay. All right. So healing methods for your sacral. Your sacral chakra is all about your emotions, pleasure, sexuality, surrender, and joy. So look for modalities and activities that open up any of these areas and relate to your sense of taste and the element of water. Interesting. Tantric exercises or other forms of sacred sexuality work really well, as does yoga, especially if you focus on doing the yin vasa, which is flow, hip opening poses, and the third principle of alignment, inner spiral, which is described on page 155. So there are other exercises in this book that you're supposed to do. It says a really good sensual Swedish style massage. Angela, does that make sense? Have you heard anything with the Swedish style, with a Swedish massage for sacral balances? Because you are a massage therapist. A really good Swedish massage will expand your sacral, and drinking fresh squeezed orange fruits such as mangoes or oranges. Since your sacral chakra is your feelings center, emotional release techniques help to heal it. A few effective ones. Blah, 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 blah. Watsu? Has anybody heard of this? It's in this book. I've never heard of it before, but it's a aquatic form of body work. It is the quintessential sacral chakra healing technique. Which makes sense. Yoga in water. Can you do yoga in water? I know there's this next part I want to read is really interesting too. Because I have down here dancing and aquatic therapy. So swimming would be good. Don't want to skip anything. There's a part in here. 178. Did I already read that? It was about dancing. Oh, dance. Here it is. Dancing is really good for the sacral chakra, especially the hip swiveling types of movement like Zumba, salsa, and belly dancing. Any kind of aquatic therapy heals the second chakra. One of the best techniques is Watsu, the practice of being gently held and guided in water. Oh, Angela, do you remember when we did that? That makes total sense now. We thought you were like we were performing like a baptism. But really what we were doing is we were balancing my sacral chakra, which makes total sense because I had like that huge emotional release. Oh my God, that makes so much sense. One of the best techniques is Watsu, the practice of being gently held and guided in water. It invites you to surrender completely to the healer, and letting go is the essence of this chakra. I talked last week that this lady, this author that wrote this book, she has wearable chakra booster healing tattoos under your navel or between your sacral divots. So I don't know. I haven't bought them yet, but I want to. So I wonder if there's just some kind of essential oil in each one. Now she says she recommends that if you do all of the tattoos, so okay, so I'll reverse for a little bit. So the author of this book sells wearable chakra tattoos. I'm assuming they're like a sticker. And you can put them on each part of your chakra that you maybe feel is imbalanced. You can start out with 1 or 2. She advises that if you do all of the 6, because the 7 is up here, you can't really put a tattoo up here. But if you do all the 6, she says make sure you are close to home and a bathroom, because of what having all of them balancing and balancing for you all at the same time will do to your physical body, which makes sense, because if you try to balance everything all at once, you're probably going to affect your digestion, and you might get tired, and you might feel some physical alignment, some physical pain or discomfort. So I have not tried it. If any of you would like to try it with me, I will buy 2 and then we can try them together. But I thought that was kind of cool that I wonder if there's like essential oils, if that's what it is, because you wouldn't think just putting a sticker on your body is going to do it, but maybe if there's an intent. I think they're like 30 or 40 bucks for the whole set. Don't quote me on that though. If you are interested in that, I will also put a link. I will write that down, Amanda. Link for tattoos. All right. So does anybody have any questions about the sex chakra? This is a really, really, really good book. I have not read any other books relating to the chakras, but, oh, here's the tattoos, you guys. I'm guessing they're like, either a sticker or they're like the ones where you get and then you put the washcloth over top of it. This book has lots of remedies, lots of healing techniques. There are lots of tests in here. There are meditation practices you can use. This book is very, very, very good. I have not even read all of it yet. I'm just reading it week by week. Well, hi Jojo. How are you? We're almost done. You'll have to go back and watch it if you're just tuning on. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to pull a self-love card. Because where's my new deck? I got new ones. I'm pausing for a moment, folks, because I want to find my new deck. I got a new deck. Oh, so next week, I will just put this out there that next week, Wednesday, we are going to do the solar plex. The solar plex chakra is, what is it? I think it's right above, is it right above your, yeah, it's like right above your belly button. That is our self-esteem. Self-love also too. Self-esteem, confidence. So I cannot wait, because I've been told that is, well, years back, when I had Lisa read me, she said that was where my weakest chakra was, but that was at that time. Now, since I have evolved and grown and forgave and expanded and forgave again and released a lot of stuff, I feel pretty balanced, honestly. I'm going to have to do the actual test and see where I'm at on that. And yes, I will post it. But there is, if you do not have the book, I will post that other one. So next Wednesday, the live. Oh, hi, Laura. How are you? I have not seen you on here before. You're kind of tuning into the last part of it, but I post all the lives, and please comment or question even after the live goes silent. And I believe you can still do that because it becomes a post then. So right now, Laura, I am going to pick a self-affirmation card. I don't think I did one last week, but I have time. Because I like to keep this under an hour. And I got these cool new cards. They're like all gold. Can you guys see the gold? Can you see how shimmer? Oh, maybe. Oh, there's a little shimmer. I just love them. I got 3 new decks. So I'm just going to shuffle and see what pops out. Stay with me. Just going to wait for one to pop out. Oh, there, this one. This one right here. Oh, look at that. For my ladies watching. Isn't that cool? She's looking at the moon. She's thinking about her period. If you're just tuning in, we talked a lot about the connection between a woman's 28 menstrual cycle is related to the 28-day moon cycle. Let that bake your noodle for a little bit. All right, I'm going to read from it. It says, connect. All right. Drop in. Allow the outside world to melt away. Notice your body. How does it feel? Can you relax your bones? Just a little bit deeper? Notice your mind. Are your thoughts alive and racing? Can you slow them? Perhaps a little bit more? Sit in this stillness for just a moment longer. Now, notice your heart. What does it say? Can you let this voice grow just a little bit louder? Connect to this guidance, for it will never lead you astray. I just love these new cards. And they're so like, they're thick and they're like super slippery. All right, folks. So next Wednesday is at 7:30. At 7:30, we're going to talk about the solar plexus chakra. The one after that is the heart, then the throat, then the third eye. You can feel it there. We did this on our first practice. Put your thumb right there. You can kind of feel it. It's right there. And then this part. This is like what I am experiencing, my chakra right here. So tomorrow night, I'm going to a Reiki share. Travis and I have been going to Reiki shares. And that is really, really powerful. So if you are Reiki certified, please reach out to me and I can let you know where we are going to our Reiki share. It's pretty cool. Everybody that's Reiki certified comes and we all get a chance on the table and we can work and run our Reiki intuitive magic. So thank you for watching tonight. Like I said, next Wednesday will be at 7:30 and I will post the links. Please comment and question. I can comment and answer questions even after this becomes a post. All right. I love you all. Thanks for watching. And the 300th member, because we're at 295, so 300th member gets a free oracle card reading from yours truly. So watch every Wednesday, folks. Love you. Bye.